For the last few days, this Moogle has been giving gifts to the people who play this game. They come from all over and they have to perform various tasks that will get them some special trinkets that they can give to this little Moogle here in exchange for something special. Now, this is not something that is unusual. This Moogle's actually been here before. But now he's back, and he gives us an even wider range of gifts to enjoy. And if they're anything like what this guy is trying to get, he might end up one day getting himself something that he really has been wanting to obtain, but it's been a lot harder for him to get than he would have originally thought. So, coming to this guy and doing the tasks he asks can certainly be a bit of a shortcut to obtaining some rare treasure. So, with that in mind, greetings people of the world. Math back with you here in Overall Autism for another edition of the Tales of Eorzea vlog here on Final Fantasy XIV's Exodus server. So yeah, it's been 2 weeks now because of the fact that last weekend I was out of town at the Anime North convention. You're probably familiar with that I was there for another Games Finished Adequately speedrun marathon where I once again took the opportunity to participate in a speedrun event. Unfortunately, I had the opening game for the event, which was on the Friday, but it didn't get shown on air because there was a problem with the internet getting put up. But they were able to, or the people who run Games Finished Adequately, not Anime North itself, were able to hook me up with a private connection that I could use to be able to get acquisition of an internet connection that I could do my Final Fantasy XIV speedrun with. And on top of that, I was able to have the very good fortune of having my speedrun done with some co-commentary from someone who I mentioned before who recently picked up Final Fantasy XIV and has really taken a shine to it and has really enjoyed it. Someone who was a previous runner at Games Done Quick and also an announcer for them, who goes by the Twitch handle of Proto Magical Girl. And so she joined me on commentary, and I have to say, if you've never seen Proto Magical Girl either on commentary or on playing games herself, she is definitely one of the most enthusiastic people you'll meet when it comes to speedrunning. Even though she said that she recently decided that she's decided to retire from speedrunning, she really couldn't help but appreciate what I was doing with Final Fantasy XIV and showing out some of the skips. Hopefully once the people at Games Finished Adequately are able to get the video of my run, because they were able to get that on backup, at least, was getting it on video on backup on YouTube. So once they get that, I'll make sure to post it to you guys, because it was so much fun to have Proto Magical Girl on commentary, because we were able to, even though it was the first time that we had ever met, we just had really good commentary. Like, we just had a chemistry that we were just able to go back and forth between each other and have a really fun time. And it definitely helped that she knew a lot of the things that even I didn't know about the game, which is always fun and enjoyable. And the way that she describes everything with the level of enthusiasm that she has was really wonderful. And I definitely really appreciate her coming to not only be part of Anime North, but also offer her services as a co-commentator. It just made the run so much fun, and so thanks so much to Proto for doing that. And she also not only did my run, she also did co-commentary on her fiance's run the following day with a game that was done on a Virtual Boy emulator. And that was really fun to watch, and it was really cool to see that too. So it was definitely worth it for someone as known in speedrunning as Proto is to be part of the event and to do everything that she did. It was really so much fun to meet her. And we did offer her an invitation to the next Final Fantasy XIV Ontario meeting or gathering in Toronto in a few weeks. So yeah, it may not be the last time we'll cross paths, so we'll see what happens. But now, of course, to the meat of the matter, the Moogle behind me. Of course, I mentioned at the start of the vlog that this Moogle has new treasures for people, and this itinerant Moogle has a lot of them. Yeah. Starting with, among other things, a Namazu earring. You also see a wide variety of mount whistles as well. Pegasus, White Lanner, Rose Lanner. The White Lanner and the Rose Lanner are the birds from the extreme modes of Ravana and Bismarck. So that's really cool that they have that. There's also some orchestrion rolls, some unique armor, including variations of the Odin armor, which in this instance I imagine is the the original Odin armor. So I know that it was obtained somehow. I don't know how it is obtained, but you can definitely get it here for 30 tomestones each on both of these. And then there are also I'm not sure what these maps are supposed to be. They call them riding maps. I'm wondering if they are actually do like 3D versions of maps. I guess I'll find out if I eventually get one for myself, but I also acknowledge the fact that since this stuff is only going to be here for a limited time, I know I will not be able to get everything with everyone I have. And then there's more mounts over here, a Drake horn, the Laurel Gubu horn. This stuff is from the Rami-born beast tribes. And then we also have some other cool mounts like Aethon here, a Direwolf, and Boreas and Snepnir Barding. And then there's also some minions, including, surprisingly, Construct 8, Brute Justice, and the Toy Alexander. Which was really surprising that these things are here, because if you're willing to do the 24-player raids, like, these are rather easy to obtain. And you also get the respective triple triad cards, also a few more Orchestrions, and finally some Demi-Materia of the Inferno, which I imagine its value is just going... It'll be on the market board, I'm sure. People will turn them and burn them, but I can only imagine that the value on this stuff is just going to absolutely tank. But I can see people really going for the stuff on top here. The mount whistles and maybe the armor. And I definitely want to see if I can get anyone to get the riding maps as well. And where you get these is through doing specific duties on the duty list. So 5 of the light party dungeons from A Realm Reborn will each get you 1 of these tomestones that you can exchange. Then over with the 24-player raids from A Realm Reborn, it's 2 apiece. And if you're willing to tough it out and gut it out in Castor Meridianum and Praetorium, it's 3 each. So the longer your journey, the more tomestones you get. It's all a matter of whether or not you want to put in the effort to try and get them faster or get them slower, I guess. It depends on also how good your party is. I can see people just grinding these dungeons for a while. I know the dungeon I would want to grind the most would be Castor Meridianum, because it takes me average about 25 to 27 minutes, and it's pretty much worth it for the value alone as opposed to some of the other dungeons that have just 1 or 2. But yeah, if I ever get the opportunity, I'm going to make it a point to try and grind the crap out of Castor Meridianum to get as much of the stuff as I can or am able to. But we'll see how it all unfolds. Plus, I also need to make sure that we're now within a month of early access to Shadowbringers. So yeah, people are going to be feverishly trying to get as much stuff as they can before early access and then the proper launch on June 2nd. We have a lot to look forward to in terms of this special grind, and we'll see how everyone does and what we ultimately can obtain before this stuff no longer becomes available. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching this edition of the Tales of Eorzea vlog. As always, if you have a character here on Exodus or looking to create one on Exodus, and you're interested in joining our free company, we'd be more than happy to have you with us. So thank you very much everyone for watching, and until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Navora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.